Well, I got some runnings to do today, so the background noise you're gonna hear is gonna be the car. I got some runnings to make, like I said. Excuse me, allergies kicking my butt, man. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you a story that happened to me last night. I was coming from well, first of all, let me set the tone. Yesterday was a nice warm day here in Fort Worth, Texas. It was about 85 degrees. It was humid, and the news said it was supposed to rain. Okay, no problem. But by later on that day, man, it got extremely cold, man. The temperature dropped down to, when I last checked before the incident, it was about 58 degrees, you know. So nevertheless, I'm coming out of the grocery store because I just came from the shop working on my car. I was working on my car late at night. I left the shop about maybe 8 o'clock or so. Maybe, 7-ish. I say 8 o'clock. So I went to this grocery store called Winco to buy some groceries on the way home. I was in Crowley, Texas. So I said, well, shoot, I'm gonna just buy something on the way home, to kind of nibble on. So I bought some stuff. Well, on the way leaving the grocery store, I had a young African American sister. I saw her in the parking lot, and she made eye contact with me, and she said, "Excuse me, can I ask you something?" I said, "No problem." She said, "Well, do you have a phone charger for your phone to charge it up?" Because at the time I was on the phone with my wife, talking to my wife. I said, "Well, I don't have a phone charger because anybody that knows me knows I'm notorious for not walking with a charger because I'm not really on my phone that much. It says it's gonna run the battery down." And anybody that comes to my car, "Man, you don't have a phone charger? Why you don't walk with a phone charger?" Everybody mad at me because I don't have a phone charger. I'm like, I really don't need a phone charger like that. I mean, I have one, but I don't walk with it. Just me. That's just my problem. Anyway, nevertheless, I said, "No, I don't have one." I said, "But you can use my phone to make a phone call." Cool. So I gave him my phone to make a phone call. The first person she called was a fiance. He didn't answer the phone, naturally, because I could assume he didn't answer the phone because it's a foreign number. No problem. So then she gave me back my phone. I said, "Well, let me ask, don't you have somebody else you can call?" She said, "Well, she have a friend." I said, "Well, call them." So I gave her back the phone again. She called a friend, and the friend and her talked, man. They must have talked for like 15 minutes now. It's cold as hell. It's 58 degrees, man. It's freezing, and the wind was blowing hard last night, man. So I don't have on any type of jacket because it's, like I said, when I left the house, it was 85 degrees. I didn't need it. But by the time the night fall, it was 58 degrees, and it was extremely breezy. I was like, man, the breeze was cutting through my clothes. Felt like I was standing there naked almost. So they talk. Like I said, for like almost 15 minutes, and then finally, she gave me my phone, and then she asked me a question. She said, "Well, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." She said, "Well, what's your beliefs?" I'm like, I said, "It's complicated." I said, "To make it simple, I believe in God." I said, I'll leave it that way. I said, "What's your beliefs?" She said, "Well, I believe in God too." I said, "Okay, well, why you ask?" She said, "Well, because my friend, I explained to him what happened, and he told me to give it to God." Now, that infuriated me beyond belief. Why? Because here it is. This lady here is in great need of help. This young lady is a young African. I said maybe she was at 26 years old at best. And this person is saying, "Give it to God." The lady, look, she can barely keep herself up. Without being winded. Physically, you could see it was dark at night, but I could physically see that she wasn't feeling too good. And she told me she wasn't feeling too good. She told me she wasn't feeling good for the past 2 weeks. And she went to the doctor, to the hospital to run a test, and she told them to run this specific test. And they ran that test and they didn't find anything. I said, "Well, that's where you went wrong." I said, "You don't ever go to the doctor and tell them to run a test on you. You let them figure out what's wrong. You don't pretend to know what's wrong with you. You let them run whatever test they're going to run. Let them figure it out." Nevertheless, she's not feeling good. I said, "You told your friend all that you're not feeling good, and you have a knot in your neck, and you're not feeling good to the point where you can't even walk to the store to go in the store. You've been sitting in the parking lot for hours," according to what she told me. She's been sitting there for hours. Because she couldn't walk to the store to have car chargers in there, because if she would try to walk before she get halfway to the store, the store was less than, she was parking in the front row, so she really had no more than maybe about 30 to 35 steps to get to the front of the store, and she would have made it. No, if she took 30, 35 steps, she would have made it to the front of the store. But she couldn't even do half of that without getting winded. So that's why she never made it too far. So she came back to the car. So I'm saying all that. I said, give it to God. I said, what kind of friend is that? Give it to God. I said, that's the problem I have with some religious people. They take it too far. I see that's my problem I have. And there's a moral to the story. Several morals to the story, but I'm gonna give you one right now. Listen, you guys have all this love for this unseen entity, all these different unseen entities. You got all this love and abundance, care and everything, but you have never laid eyes on that entity in your life. And the only time you might ever see that entity is when you die. But on the other hand, you have living human beings right now that you can interact with, that you can touch, that you can help, and you say give it to an unknown entity. Let them deal with it. You see, maybe for all I know, the unseen entity was working through me. Because if it hadn't been for the fact that I was hungry, I would have never stopped at the grocery store. I'd have kept driving till I got home. You see, people want to believe that God works in mysterious ways. Well, maybe that's a mysterious way right there. Maybe it's for other humans to help other humans. I didn't know this lady from a can of paint. I was cold. I was hungry. I could say, look, man, I'm cold, I'm hungry, I ain't got time, I gotta go. I already let you make a phone call, I gotta go. However, so when I heard that, that's what sparked in my mind. I told her that too. I said that's not a friend. I said that's some kind of a person who's a weak excuse for a friend, because I would never tell my friend give it to God. And I'm hearing what they're going through. They can't breathe. They can't walk too far. They don't feel good. They have a knot in their neck. And I'm just, well, give it to God, man. What type of person does that? You know? So I said, look, call back your fiance one more time and see what happens. So I give her back my phone. She called the fiance back. This time he answered the phone. Well, because he answered the phone this time because she left a message the first time she called. I forgot to tell you that part. Well, nevertheless, he answered the phone, and I guess they get into a little tussle because he's mad at the fact that she didn't go into work. So I'm hearing the conversation. I'm trying not to hear it, but I'm hearing it. You know, so he's mad because she didn't went to work and so forth and so forth. Right now, he's in Arlington. So anybody that knows anything about Fort Worth, well, Crowley in particular, Arlington is a little ways away from Fort Worth. So the phone conversation wasn't even that long. It was shorter than when she talked to the friend. So I said, well, is he coming? She don't know. He hanged up. I said, whoa. What do you mean he hanged up? She said, well, I don't know if he's coming. I said, wait, you told him, because I heard you told him that you don't feel well. You've been in this parking lot for over 3 hours, and you don't know if he's coming? I said, sister, look, it ain't none of my business, but to me, from my personal observation, you need to reevaluate your life and people you have in your life. I said, look, if this is your fiance, as you say he is, and you don't know if he coming, hanged up, I said, you might not need to be marrying this guy at all. Well, my mom told me the same thing. I said, you might really need to listen to your mother, because this might not be the guy for you. I said, I don't know you from a can of paint, but I'm just telling you from my observation. Let it have been my wife that called me and tell me she needed some help. She didn't feel good. She's in a parking lot for a couple hours and she don't feel good. And I'm gonna say, I'm not coming right now, because she told me that he was in some card place or something or the other. Something he does in his. I said, well, so she named the name of the place, and I'm sorry I can't remember. But some card place where you can go, and I guess it's some kind of hobby, like I guess some kind of card game kind of place where, you know, like Magic the Gathering or some kind, you know, one of them card games. I don't know what the name of the card game was. I said, wait, that's where he's at? And you telling him that you are in need of assistance, and he hangs up? I said, tell you what, if I was you, I would call the ambulance. You don't want to call the ambulance because you say you have children, somebody got to pick up your children. I said, well, what about the people who watch your children? Can they come and bring your children here? But they don't drive. I said, you want me to call the ambulance? She said, no, because like I said, she got to go to get her kids. I said, what about going to the hospital? Well, no, I want to get my kids. I said, why don't you drive down there slowly then? If that's the case, well, I don't want to drive and something happens and I don't have my phone. And her phone charger wasn't working. I said, okay, no problem. Tell you what, let me drop my groceries off in the car. My car real quick. I'll be right back. I'll go buy you a charger. So I went into the store, purchased a charger. The line in the store for some weird reason when it was reaching the aisles, I said, what the hell? I just came in here and the lines wasn't even this long. Now I come back inside the store and have like 20 people in the self-checkout line, because I normally go to the self-checkout line, only 1 or 2 items, I'll pick them anyway. So I go in the line, purchase the items, come back out, open the charger for her, gave her the charger. I said, look, let me make sure this charger is actually working. So I want to see you plug it into your phone and make sure it works. So she said, okay, it's working. So she tried to give me the money back for the charger. I said, no, keep it. She tried to give me the money back 4 times. I said, no, keep it. Okay, just keep it. Don't worry about it. I said, well, how much the charger cost? I said, well, $7 and change, $8 with taxes. Don't worry about it. Just keep it. So I said, let me make sure you start the car so I can see you leaving here, so you can be on your way to get your children. But see, if I was you, I said, after talking to my wife, and she reminded me of something that happened to one of my family members. She said, you know what, that sounds to her that might be a hard problem, because one of her friends at work had the same problem, where it's a Mexican lady where she was shot a long time ago. A stray bullet came in her house, and it never took all the actual fragments out of her body. So every once in a while, what happens is she actually have a blood clot. And you can tell when she had the blood clot because her face becomes really, really pale, and she have a hard time walking because she can't breathe. So when she removes the blood clot, she's good to go. So I explained that to the young lady. I said, to me, that's what it sounds like, that you have a heart problem and a blood clot. I said, you keep telling me you have a pain right along your shoulder blade close to your neck. I said, that might be the blood clot. She said, yeah, but it's been there for a couple of days. I said, if I was you, I would get it checked out. I said, that's just me. If I was you, I would go to the hospital and have them check it out. You explain them your symptoms, and you let them do what they're going to do. That's what I would do if I was you. I said, I would do that tonight. Yeah, but what about my children? I said, well, look, God forbid something happens to you. Your children's still going to be here, regardless. And she kind of paused for a second. I said, well, it's up to you. Your phone charger is working now. I can see that. So I said, are you going to be okay? She said, yes, I'm going to be okay. So as soon as I ready to leave, I noticed someone pulled up and went straight to the car. So I assumed, I didn't stick around to find out. I assume it's either her fiance or her friend. But I saw it, because before I pulled out, I saw that they were still talking and everything. So I said, maybe that's the fiance, or maybe that's a friend. But I say all that to say this, man. Sometimes God works through, if you believe in God, it works through strangers a lot of times. I didn't have to stop there and render assistance to the lady. After she asked me if I had a phone charger, that could have been in the conversation, because I didn't have a phone charger. I said, nope, I don't have one. It's cold and I'm hungry. I gotta go. I could have been short with the sister. Like I said, I don't know the lady. But out of compassion, I said, well, she looks like she's in great need of some type of assistance, because she was just sitting slouched down in the car. I'm like, oh. First I thought she was waiting for somebody to come out the store. So when I got closer, when she asked me to use my phone charger, and that's when she started explaining to me what was wrong. So I say all that to say, a lot of times, look here, so long I'm not a Scott, man. Sorry, I'm driving on the highway here. Somebody didn't want to let me on the highway. Anyway, I say all to say, a lot of times, man, we neglect the human interaction for the spiritual one. Everything is spiritual. I'm a spiritual being. What does that really mean? Okay, and there's many morals to this story. Get yourselves checked out. Literally, I keep saying, a lot of times y'all focus on homicides. Look what they're doing to us. But how is your health? Do you check on your health? Do you know how you feel? This girl, like I said, at best, she looks like she's 26 years old, at best. And there it is, she can't even walk no more than 10 to 15 steps without being winded. And here it is, the people who she have in her circle of supposedly close circle, there was of no real immediate help to her. Sometimes we surround ourselves with people we believe we can trust. To me, a good test of your supposedly characters or people in your life or in your circle is when you don't have nothing. All those people who are egging you on or cheering you on or in your corner, are they still there? That's a question you have to ask for yourself. I can't answer that question for you, but that's a good test. I'm going to tell you two more stories again, two more stories of real life people that I know. Like I said, that one was just a recent one that happened to me last night. I hope the young lady is fine. I really do. Like I said, I would never left if I didn't see somebody showed up, but somebody showed up, so as I assume is either the friend or the fiance, because they both know where she was at. So, are you kidding me? Get traffic on the road? Damn. Anyway, I assume is either the fiance or the friend. But the other story I'm going to tell you about is when I used to work at a cable company many years ago. There's two stories actually. One's going to be of a lady named Kathy. Kathy was a really cool African American lady. All these stories, by the way, are all about African American sisters, by the way, just in case you're wondering. And the sister's name was Kathy. Real cool lady, real cool. She was a lady that told me that, because I used to be a workaholic, man. I used to be the guy that, when a company gives me more work to do, I'll go ahead and make sure I'm making my effort to work through lunch to get it done. And that was just me. I was going to get it done. I'll go, no matter what it took for me to get it done, I'll get it done. So, one day she noticed I was doing that. She was a dispatcher, and I was like, man, give me the next job, man. I got to go work through lunch. And she said, look, don't do that. She said, because the more you do that, the more work they're going to give you. I honestly admitted that. I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. I said, thanks for the advice. Well, Kathy got a promotion one day where she was working the night shift. She was working the night shift dispatching. It was an easy gig because, we don't work at night. The service technicians, we don't work at night. So it's not really much to really do, really. All you really do is, if anybody calls saying they have a problem with the cable, you report it. You log in and give it to an on-call system tech, And that's basically what you do. Well, one night, they came in and found Kathy right in her cubicle. African American sister. Passed away right in her cubicle. Right there, in her cubicle. On the job. You see, Kathy was the kind of person who would never really call in either. But I found out from some of her friends that work with her, she neglected her health. You see, sometimes we work so hard that we forget that we are human. That if you neglect your health, you're going to pay a price. Another lady I know, they called her Miss Vicky. I remember this lady as if it was yesterday. It's well over 10 years ago. She had a gold afro, African American lady. I always saw her with a wrist brace. She was the first lady I saw with 2 wrist brace on. I'm like, what the hell? What she be doing? I later found out she wore them because she had a carpal tunnel. Miss Vicky was a workaholic. Miss Vicky never missed a day at work. African American sister, like I said, I can remember right that she's about maybe 5'6", 5'7", gold afro. Always very, very vibrant. Always happy. Always singing a bunch of church hymns. Every time I saw her, I was just in a good mood. So one day, Miss Vicky didn't show up for work. And anybody that knew Miss Vicky know that that's not characteristic of Miss Vicky at all. That's not right. Something don't seem right. So one of her friends, her close friends, called. No answer at home. So she got permission from the supervisor to leave to check to see if Miss Vicky's okay, because they know Miss Vicky always comes into work. She never takes a day off. She's always there. You all know what I'm talking about. Those kind of people who don't miss a day from work, they're always there. Well, when the friend got to the house, like I said, she was one of them good close friends. Well, they found Miss Vicky still in bed. She didn't leave bed that day. Come to find out, Miss Vicky had a lot of health problems. But a lot of times she didn't have the money to take care of those health problems. And so they went neglected. You see, It's amazing to me how we follow man-made laws, but we neglect the universal law. Example, man-made laws have speed limits. But you and I know everybody drives, well, not everyone, but a lot of people drive beyond the speed limit. Why? Because they have to catch you. If they don't catch you, they can't do anything to penalize you. That's a fact. We all know this. I mean, if you're on the highway right now, you will see the same thing that we all, or not, let me don't say that. A lot of people break the speed limit every day because there's no one there to actually catch you at that particular moment. But universal law, you can only break it for so long. And some universal laws you can only break one time and that's it. For instance, I don't care how much money you have, how much power and status you believe you have. If you walk off a 100-story building, you will fall. Even if a baby walks off of that building somehow, they will fall. Even if they never learned about what they say is gravity, that child will fall. That person will fall. No excuse. There is no excuse and there's no exceptions to that rule. They will fall. Are we in agreement? Of course we are. Another universal law. You can only abuse your body for so long before you have to pay a price. At some point, whether you like it or not, at some point, there is a price to be paid. Again, whether you are ignorant of that fact or not, it does not make a difference. You will pay a price. And if you continue to neglect your health, at some point, you will pay a price. It might be the ultimate price. It might be a small price, but you will pay a price. I can tell you one last story about that particular topic, and this one is not too severe. It's African-American female. Again, all African-American females, so I'm trying to drill home a point here. I shouldn't have to underline it, but I mean, for some reason, I have to. One day, her sister went over to her house to check on her, she's doing okay. I mean, no big deal, right? And she noticed when her sister stand up, that she stood up kind of weird, like kind of sluggish, And when she started to speak, her mouth went to the one side. And she was trying to speak, but she really couldn't get the words out. What the sister was having was a stroke. Keep in mind, the lady was in her early 40s. No, she didn't die now. That story, this one is not so tragic. But she did have a stroke nonetheless. They say sometimes the first sign of a stroke is a stroke. That's no joke. That's a dead honest statement. Because prior to that, the lady never had a stroke in her life. Until that particular moment. Okay? Get yourself checked out. Your body is telling you these signs. The body is really, if you really learn to really understand your body, you will really be amazed what you can learn from it. Man, what the hell's going on up here, man? This traffic, I stuck in traffic for so long. I'm sorry, man. I got some place to go, and it's like we had to stand still, man. I can go out and actually kick my tires. We're barely moving. We're barely doing like 2 miles an hour. Oh, well, back to what I'm saying. So, get yourself checked out. Neglecting your health, your body tells you these signs. I'll tell you some stories about myself now. When I eat too much salt, I can feel it. I start getting dizzy. I can feel it immediately. I was okay, something ain't right. Okay, I gotta go ahead and I'm gonna start diluting. So I'm gonna start drinking a lot of water to kind of flush that stuff out. The same thing with sugars, to flush it out. I can feel a telltale sign. My body tells me I start feeling dizzy. If I eat too much sugar, I start feeling dizzy and kind of weird, man. That's okay. I got too much sugars, man. And you probably might ask, well, why you eat too much sugar? But sometimes it's kind of hard to avoid eating sugars in this modern society. It's not like I have acres and acres of land I could plant my own food. I just can't do it like that yet. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to stay away from the salt. Sometimes it's hard to stay away from the sugars, but you got to do the best you can. And always listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. Your body's just like a car. I mean, would you drive your car on with a check engine light on that's continuously being on without checking it out? Of course. Well, some of you will and some of you won't. Some of you say, oh, the check engine light came on. I'm going to take a look at that real quick because you don't want to be stranded nowhere. So how do you ignore the signs of the body? I know a lady, I know several, it's just all African-American ladies for some reason. Strange. Another African-American lady, it's not a horrible story, this is a decent story in a way. But this lady told me, I always get migraine headaches, and she keep telling me that because she knows I'm into nutrition and health and nutrition, I do my best. And she said, well, I get migraine headaches all the time, So I started thinking, I said, well, let me ask you kind of a personal question. How often do you go to do a bowel movement? She said, well, I do it once a week. I said, that ain't normal. Well, my doctor told me it's no. I said, well, you might need to find the next doctor. I said, that cannot be normal. I said, because if you take in about 2 pounds of food per each meal, let's say you eat 3 times a day, that's 6 pounds. Something got to come out somewhere. So something ain't right with that. So, long story short, she finally went to a different doctor, and the doctor showed her, and I guess I can't remember the name of the machine it is, where you can actually see your bowel movements inside of your body. I don't know what the machine name. I'm sorry. Some of you guys in more of a medical field, you can tell me or you could look it up. And she said she saw a whole lot of, bowel movements back up inside of her body. She almost puked because it looks so gross. I said, that's the reason why you're gaining all that weight, because your body can't get rid of it. You're keeping all the waste inside of you. I said, that's why you're having these massive headaches. I said, your body always gives you signs. But a lot of times we ignore them. Well, I'm going to take some aspirin. I'm going to take some migraine aspirin. And all you're doing is blocking the signals. The headache is still there. All you're doing is blocking the signals from going where they need to go, because the headache is still there. Nothing changed. The headache is still there. Oh, what the heck that I came this way from, my son? Left lane, close ahead. So, I don't want to make this video too long. I'm in traffic, so I'm just here, got my recorder out. I'm just recording, so all the background noise and stuff you heard, I do apologize. But just thought I would share that experience with you guys that happened to me last night. So a stranger helped another stranger, and that's the way it should be. And but we have got so confused in this world where we don't trust anyone anymore. Oh, I know they're not trying to scam me. Oh, I mean, all these kind of stuff goes through our mind, and we become disconnected. Everybody's staring at a little box. Everywhere you go, everybody's staring at a little box, referring to your little cell phones, your smartphones. The phones become smarter, we become dumber. And I can prove that point real easy. How many of y'all can remember 10 phone numbers out of your phone book? I can only remember maybe 3 people in my phone book number. That's it. 3. Show you how smart I am. The technology has actually advanced so much so that you don't have to worry how to spell anymore. Just get close enough and you can find the right word. Same thing with the grammar. That's why I'm sometimes amazed when people have so much mistakes in the comment section and the grammar's like, to me, it showed me they're lazy. They don't even give a damn. I don't give a damn. Just here you go. Put it out there. Like, you have spell check. You have grammar check for the most part. But we become so disconnected. Everyone is for self. No one really gives a damn, really and truly, for the most part. I'm not saying everyone's like that, because every once in a while you find what they would call a anomaly, a glitch in the system. Those of us who refuse to go along with the status quo. But for a lot of these modern societies, though, a lot of people really don't want to connect socially with actual real people. They would rather just disconnect and live a virtual lifestyle. See people in need and wouldn't even render aid. It kind of makes me fear for the future for my children and their children who are not even born yet. I often wonder what would this world be like in these modernized, so-called modernized societies. What would it be like? Where in these day and age, everybody pull out a cell phone and can see you having a stroke or needing help and just record it. They'll record and just not even render aid. I got it on tape, though. I'm posting it on the internet. Everybody wants to be a star of some sort. Yeah, I post that video. I got it all. But what did you actually do to help the situation? Again, these are questions I know that I cannot get answered because I'm actually recording this and we're not having a live conversation. But those are questions I ask myself. You know, and I don't mean I'm some guy who's financially just flush. No, I mean I go through my struggles every day, but at the same token, you see someone in need, you do the best you can. But also, I don't let myself get caught up in these different titles. I'm a spiritual being. I'm religious. I'm awoken. I'm conscious. I'm an indigo child. I'm a light bringer. I'm a light walker. All these different titles. Just another way to divide you from the rest of society. Oh no, I'm not like them people. I'm a light bringer. Oh no, I'm conscious. I'm awoke. I'm spiritual. But underneath all that stuff, you're still a human. What happened to your humanity? These are questions, again, that many of us don't ask. Just go along with the flow, just like a leaf blowing in the wind, with no real sense of direction. Whichever way the wind blows, the leaf goes. And that's in a lot of ways, that's the way a lot of you guys operate. Whatever is popular is what you gravitate towards. But again, I'm gonna cut this video off here and sit in this traffic. I hope I don't have to be here too damn long because I'm getting frustrated. I just saw a guy drove down the shoulder and I might follow him, but no, I'm not gonna follow him because I'm not a follower, so the hell with it. I'll just sit it out. Which in essence, I guess I'll be following the rest of the traffic lights, so I'm still following anyway, Trey. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, I'm enjoying my day, guys. You guys enjoy your day. I'm gonna turn on some music and just relax and just enjoy my time of being alive, being healthy, and being able to think clearly and chart my course, or a course for myself and my family, and do the best I can in this constantly changing world. Well, right in time. Phone call. Anyway, talk to you guys later. You guys take it easy. I'm out.